What is going on, everybody? We are here at, believe it or not VIR. We're at Pitt race. I'm here with the GT 350 today. As you can see, changing up from NASA, running SCCA time trials today. I'm in the Max 2 class, brand new class for me. I have been to this track once, 7 years ago. So effectively it's like a new track. No real changes on the car. If you watch my videos, I don't think I did a video on it yet. This is kind of my test weekend, but as you can see right through the louvers down to the radiator. The coolant reservoir is now sitting back where the battery used to be. Testing out some hose rerouting. If it works out, I'll turn that into like a kit with all the brackets, hoses, fittings, everything. Honestly, that's really about it. Did have to get a new set of tires, 200 tread wears to be legal. I think that's about it. But yeah, should be a fun day. Kind of relearning this track. I think morning sessions, they're doing something weird here where we're only running like South Course for like the morning. We have like 3 or 4 sessions on South Course, which is apparently on like a 50-second lap or something like that. Then the afternoon we get full course, and then tomorrow is full course, and then your combined lap times of full course and the short course give you your total, which is kind of interesting, kind of neat. But yeah, we'll see how we do. Hopefully the car hangs in there, and that's about it right now. All right, guys, so that was just practice, so I didn't bring you with me. And again, we're only on South Course. Honestly, a little bit of a boring track. It's a 50-some second lap. But like I mentioned in the intro, the coolant rerouting was the one thing that was in the back of my brain. So I was watching cylinder head temp on the dash when I was in car. Saw 228, I think. That's cylinder head temp. If I bring up the AIM data, if I go to engine coolant temp, the blue and the light blue are today. A peak of 216, 208. And that 216 was on lap 9. You know, so I'm well into the session by that point. Where else? Oh, and then just to compare, this purple one, if I bring that in, this purple line is VIR. We're not worried about the top bit. Coolant temp, you know, I saw 225, so that was a hot day, obviously. But that was all factory setup. So, you know, I think the plumbing reroute isn't going to cause any issues. Now it is cooler today, because if we bring in intake air temp, let's see, it was almost 99 at the VIR track day. It's 79 today, so you know, a little bit of a cooler day for sure. So yeah, the little coolant relocation so far pretty good. As far as lap times, I did a 55.1. Had a little bit faster on my predictive. I think first in class 54 something. But again, my first time here, shaking the car out, practice, you know, gonna dive into my data, kind of see what I can come up with. The only real change on the car, the front left was scraping really bad on that back right-hander where you kind of go downhill. I could shim the front left up to raise the splitter off the track. Instead, I opted to lower the rear. So yeah, that will put a little bit of cross weight in the car, but lowering the rear should take a little weight off of that front left until you kind of start turning and it rolls to it. At least that's my theory. And I didn't do much because I don't want to take a swing the wrong direction. But yeah, we'll be back out session 2. I'll bring you guys along because that's the first timed session. So yeah, don't want to mess with the car too much because I'm just learning the track. But yeah, we'll see how we do on our first time session. All right, guys, first time session in the books. Actually went like 2/10 slower than I did this morning. Now the track got really hot because a couple more hours into the day. Like I was just looking at my data, intake air temps are 99 right now. I gotta look at time, see if anybody else went faster or slower. But yeah, looking at my data, I gave up a few tenths in like the real hard twisty bits. But I mean, that's really about it. I just kind of, like anytime you come to a new track, gotta get some seat time for sure. I see where I was giving it up from this morning, so hopefully this afternoon session, break into the 54s. I did a 55.3. I am 1,000th of a second out of second place, I think. So yeah, so far so good. Temperature of the car staying good. Tires, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, I got the RT 660s. When it comes to 200 tread wear tires, don't ask me. Never had to use them. That's kind of what I landed on because they had 305s at a decent price. I think wear seems okay. Let's see. Not sure how much you guys are going to be able to see. I got to get this thing up because I felt like a vibration, but it was also when I went like offline, I think I picked up some crap that I didn't really go fast enough to like scrub off the tire. But yeah, I want to check wheel bearings. It almost felt like a wheel bearing, but I think that's about it. Check over a few things, get some more gas, and ready for time session 2, which is our final one on South Track. Then we're going to the big track. Alright guys, so time session 2 is done. I don't think I went any faster. I did another 15.5, which is what I did the first session. Issue with this one, I forgot to hold the traction control button, which it effectively cuts off all the nannies. It was super annoying because I would go through like the bottom of the downhill, coming up, try to accelerate. Same thing onto the front straight, and it would just kind of pull timing because, you know, it would sense a tiny bit of tire slip or something. So I had a few laps where I was up a couple tenths, it would pull timing, and I'd be, you know, lost time. So yeah, frustrating. So what I ended up doing, I just pulled the dyno plug. That's that plug right behind the air box, which you don't have to hit any buttons. Everything's off except ABS. So I'm currently 4th in class. There's 4 of us within like a half second or something. So, you know, pretty tight. But next session, we're going out on the big track, which is kind of what I've been waiting for. So we'll see how we do on the big track. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday. I don't think I did a closeout video yesterday. The paddock right now is like, it's kind of funny. It's like dead. I've seen like 1 or 2 people. But yeah, yesterday ended up doing a 154.4, which I'm happy with. That was second quickest in class. But I was also second quickest in practice on the short track yesterday and ended up 4th, so there's that. But the way it kind of works, where it's kind of like an aggregate of your lap times of the 2 tracks, since I'm sitting in 4th, guy in 1st is kind of, yeah, I think he beat us all by shoot, like a 1.5 seconds on short track. 2nd and 3rd were only like a few tenths, which means I have to beat him by at least a few tenths on the big track. But yeah, looking at practice times, I feel all right. I like the big track. Not really going to make any changes to the car. Just going to kind of drive it because I'm still learning the track. But that's really about it. We'll kind of see how we do. Alright guys, just got done first session, and wouldn't you know it, I forgot to turn the camera on, so don't have any footage of that lap. I did a 153.2. I'm happy with that. Good enough for second collectively, with my little mishap yesterday being a little bit off pace. So I'm in second by like 0.7 seconds. This afternoon is going to get hot. Not sure if anybody will go faster or can go faster, but you never know. So I'll be out there this afternoon. Yeah, didn't do any other changes. We just kind of got blessed with like very nice weather this morning. But yeah, I think that's about it. Coolant setup is working fine. No overheat issues, especially yesterday when it was like 90. In case you haven't seen it or I haven't showed it in this video yet. So anybody with an S550 knows there's a big ugly coolant bottle that usually sits right about here. So rerouted the lines back to where the battery used to be, and there it is. So you obviously need to relocate your battery, which a lot of people do once they start tracking their cars, but that's working fine. So I'm going to get a bunch of the brackets made and kind of come up, put a kit together. Anybody that wants to relocate their coolant reservoir. So anyways, that's about it. I did do new scuff plates. I kind of point these out almost every video. So underneath it here, that little aluminum skid puck protecting the splitter, especially in that like back left-hander where the car really compresses. So I'm not grinding away my nice carbon splitter. But yeah, I think we got a couple hours to kill. Session 2 this afternoon. We'll see what we can do. everybody, I am loaded up and that is it for the weekend. Unfortunately, did not set a new, better lap, but the guy a couple tenths behind me did not either, so was able to hang on to second place, so that should be cool. Definite room for improvement in this class. You know, this thing isn't really optimized for Max 2. But all in all, good weekend. Coolant modification that I did worked good. Got some good data, ran some decent laps. No overcharge issues, no misfire issues. If you've been watching me for a while, I've been fighting them for a little while. But yeah, that's about it. As always, guys, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.